तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Hari Om, salutations to all. So we have been seeing the Kaivalya Upanishad, the mantra 6 spoke about the contemplation on the formless truth. And if our mind cannot focus on the formless because it requires high level of vairagya, purity of mind, single pointedness, to do steady contemplation on the formless, nameless, attributeless truth, then the next best alternative the Upanishad gives us here is to worship the Lord with the form. So that is called Saguna Upasana. Upasana is the method by which we make the mind single pointed. Upa means near, asana means to sit. So to sit near an altar or surrender and excluding every other thought, focusing only on that. Even if the mind wanders, we bring it back to the support. Alamban is the word used because it aids the mind to attain concentration, surrender, and of course identification with the truth. So Upasana is a method. Whatever we worship, we will become that. In Vedanta, it is not that we meditate on Brahman, so we become Brahman. Our nature is Brahman already. In any other thing, it will be applicable, where we say that as you think, so you become, because that transformation is in time. What I was not, because of my thought, I became that. So if I was not very compassionate earlier, now I invoke compassion, I will become compassionate. I was not very strong physically earlier, now I put in the efforts and then I have become physically strong now. Why? Because in thought I have maintained that I need to become physically strong, and so that prompted me to do the actions, and then finally I become strong. So here in Vedanta it is not like that, that as I think, so I become. Because our nature is Brahman already. So there is no question of becoming Brahman, which I was not earlier. Yet we say that as we worship, those qualities will come into us. What we worship, the ideals that we worship. That's why Gurudev said Hindus are not idol worshippers, we are ideal worshippers. So the ideals which we worship, the form which we worship, or even the formless contemplation that we do, what will that do? It will bring single pointedness, it will bring a certain level of surrender, emotional stability, it will ensure that our mind becomes ready to recognize the truth which is already our nature. So it is not exactly as you think, so you become in terms of realization. Yes, it is as you think, so you become in terms of the qualities, especially when the form is there. So if we say here, we are seeing the mantra 7, Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum. So we saw earlier this one line we have seen, Uma Sahayam. So one who is the consort of Mother Uma. Uma represents the one who is doing tapasya single pointedly to attain Bhagwan Shiva. So those qualities of austerity, single pointedness, forbearance, titiksha, all that. And then Bhagwan Shiva is very kind, compassionate, loving, those qualities, equanimous. We also saw Parameshwaram Prabhum, one who is the Supreme Lord, one who is capable of doing anything, not doing anything, doing something completely differently. So kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum shakyam. In our situation, also we have that limited freedom, but many times we don't apply that. So we are capable of doing many things, making the right choices, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we are not able to sit quietly. Bhagwan can sit quietly, do nothing, and yet not fall into tamas. Akartum shakyam. He need not do anything. We have to do something. Restlessness is there all the time. And anyatha kartum shakyam. He can do something completely different from so-called norms and rules and cause and effect. So suddenly you see some miracles also happening. So that is lordliness, meaning one who is not bound by karma, one who is not bound by impulses, one who is not bound by any lower tendencies. So now those qualities the devotee will cultivate, will absorb, will imbibe. So upasana will help to lift ourselves from where we are in our body identification, in our jiva bhav, lift us away from body identification, lift us away from the state of vikshepa. Upasana is required for controlling vikshepa. Vikshepa is wandering of the mind. So to attain ekagrata, single pointedness, chitta shuddhi, chitta ekagrata, for that upasana is done. Remember, earlier it was said Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitartha Sannyasa Yoga Yataya Shuddha Sattvaha. The Shuddha Sattva, how did it happen? Through Karma Yoga and Upasana. And of course, then person is ready to listen, to go to the Guru, surrender, listen to the scriptures, reflect, all that we saw. And through that process also one purifies oneself further. So that mantra we already saw. Now here the Siddhanta of Upasana is what we are discussing. Steady contemplation is Nididhyasan. To make that steady contemplation possible, the mind must be single pointed, pure, and subtle. Sukshma Buddhi, subtle. Agra Buddhi, single pointed. Shuddha Buddhi, pure. All the three are important. Subtlety so that we can grasp the subject of Vedanta. Single pointedness so that the mind can steadily contemplate and drop the false identification, identify with the truth. And purity, the most important one, because without purity, the mind will be pulled by the lower tendencies, impurities, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. It cannot be single pointed. So in that order, it is important. The purity of mind, single pointedness, subtlety. Each one will lead to the other. And the Siddhanta of Upasana is this, to develop this. So it's not mechanical repetition, Ram, 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 Ram. It is the form, surrender to that one particular form. There are many forms, but choose one as the Ishtadevata, build a relationship with Bhagwan, surrender the emotions, and remember the Lord with bhakti, with love. Where there is love, focus will come. Where there is love, purity will come. In true love, there is always purity. Where there is selfishness and attachment, then there is impurity. And that's why surrender happens. And so purity, single pointedness, and if both these are there, subtlety will also come. So this is the Siddhanta of Upasana. And here the form of Bhagwan which is indicated is Bhagwan Shiva's form. So Uma Sahayam, Parameshwaram, Prabhum, then Trilochanam, one who has three eyes. So what are the three eyes of Bhagwan? So different depictions are given. Soma Surya Agni Lochanaha, that is one of his names. Soma Surya Agni Lochanaha. In 108 names of Bhagwan Shiva, one name is Soma Surya Agni Lochanaha. Means the sun, the moon, and the fire. So sun and moon and fire, three eyes. In the cosmic form, whenever we see the sun, we should know that, oh, Bhagwan Shiva is watching us. See the moon, oh, Bhagwan Shiva is watching us. And both the eyes are there at the same time. No? Don't think when sun is there, moon is not there. Moon is also there, not visible to us. That's our eye problem. But otherwise, both are there. Both are watching. And fire, of course, is there. The third eye is supposed to be the eye of fire. What is the deeper meaning? Bhagwan has two qualities. With two physical eyes. One eye is the eye of justice, dharma, nyaya. So he gives karma phala. To every jiva he gives as per their karma. There is no compromise in that. It's not that Bhagwan will favor a devotee and discriminate against a non-devotee or a non-believer. Everybody will get the results of their karma as per their karma. Whatever the motive of the action determines the merit of the action. So Bhagwan will give the results according to that. But if Bhagwan gives results only according to the karma, many times we will not even evolve. To come from lower levels to the human life, so much evolution happens by the push of nature, and that is Bhagwan's will. Then we come to first human birth. Then we get choice. And if Bhagwan gives results only as per the karma, we will not even get satsang, because when we act, when we have come from the lower impulsive life in so many lower forms, the mind which is going through different forms is the same. So it will have lower animalistic tendencies. How will that mind have done enough punya to deserve satsang and deserve a human body, etc.? So it is Bhagwan's grace. Second eye is the eye of compassion and grace. Karuna. One is karma, phaladata, one is karuna. And so the grace and compassion on one hand, and justice, and being very clear about no compromise in that, and giving the appropriate results. That is Bhagwan's another eye. So sun represents that karma phaladata, because sun is supposed to be the witness of everything. Jagat Sakshi is the sun. And Karuna is a moon. So sun, moon, and this third eye is the eye of knowledge, self-knowledge. Generally, it is closed. When it is opened, the stories we have heard. So when third eye of Bhagwan opens, he generally opens it, and when he is angry and his third eye opens, and the whole world gets burnt. So it's not necessary that he opens it only when he has anger. That also can happen. Which is also to say that the third quality here is that it is not that one who is dispensing justice and one who is compassionate and having this combination of dispensing justice compassionately will never become angry. He may become angry if one is provoked that way or some adharmic thing happens in the world. Then one may express that anger as a righteous anger. So that is one aspect. But from a spiritual standpoint, what we say, this is the eye of knowledge which doesn't burn the world, it burns the worldliness in us. The fire of knowledge, the fire of uh, detachment that is there, that will burn the worldliness, the attachments in us, the deep clinging possessiveness. That's why Bhagwan wears bhasma all over the body. That bhasma is symbolic of that. We wear bhasma, which is scented bhasma, many times made from chemical also. Literal bhasma is when something is burnt to ashes. Those ashes one takes and applies. And what has Bhagwan burnt with his eye of intuition, eye of self-knowledge? Destroyed the body identification, destroyed avidya. Come to realize that's why it's called vibhuti, a special way of being. A very special way of being, meaning one who shines in one's true nature. Visheshena bhati. Vibhuti also means that. Specially shining in the nature as Aham Brahmasmi, I am that infinite consciousness, not not this body, not this jiva. One who revels in that. So this eye of knowledge is the fire of knowledge, fire of self-knowledge and Brahma Vidya. Bhagwan Shiva is the Adi Guru. So one meditates on that Supreme Lord who is Trilochanam. In this Upanishad, we also saw first instruction that Brahmaji gave was Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga Davaihi. There we saw Shraddha, intellectual quality, Bhakti, emotional quality, and Dhyana Yoga is contemplation, which is a combination of head and heart. And where Gurudev says intuition is the only way to know the self. So this Trilochanam also is that. The eye of intellect is Shraddha. The eye of the mind, intellect is the sun. So sun, Shraddha, moon, Bhakti, and this third eye is Dhyana Yoga, steady contemplation. And one will come to know the truth. And you know the interesting part of this, why here is the third eye. This is the place where we apply the chandan, tilak, bindi, etc. This connects to the pineal gland in the brain. And pineal gland is a small gland facing downwards, small one. And do you know it is made up of the same tissue as our physical eyes? It controls various hormones, secretions in the body, etc. But that pineal gland is actually, this third eye is indicating that pineal gland actually, this spot. Pineal gland is not here. This is the frontal lobe. But this spot, if you connect, draw a straight line, you will come to pineal gland in the brain. That pineal gland is made up of the same material as the physical eye, which means what? It has the light absorbing capacity. It's very interesting. Science is discovering a few things now, which is very important and nice, and so we also understand the significance. But our rishis, they knew many more things. So they called it third eye. Why did they not call it as a second brain or, you know, third ear, second mouth? Why only third eye? Because that pineal gland absorbs light. And what is interesting is where is light inside the body? Light we see outside. And through the eyes, we are able to absorb light, reflect it, object is seen, that whole mechanism all of us know. But where is the light inside the body? Very interesting is the whole body of ours produces light because we are, as when we are alive, there is electricity, there is energy inside, and literally there is light. And that pineal gland is that which is facing that, absorbing that. And also through these eyes, that pineal gland also is affected, there's no doubt. It will secrete melatonin, it will secrete various other hormones, as I said. And so, when we are following the circadian rhythm properly, according to the sun, we rise up and we sleep as per that pattern. The pineal gland, as well as all the other glands, functioning is proper. If that circadian rhythm is got disturbed and we are doing opposite, we are sleeping in the day, working in the night, etc., then there will be health challenges. So that is one medical aspect of pineal gland, which controls the various hormones, and so the light tissue is there, and then the mind. So when the eyes are closed, the whole signal for the entire body is to relax, to be quiet, and when one sleeps in the night and environment, one makes dark, closes the eyes and sleeps well, then again the signal is now is the time to sleep, so melatonin, etc., all that is released. That is a biological aspect. But the interesting aspect is that third eye aspect. Why it is called the third eye only? Because as one meditates, one will actually see light also. Not that a seeker wants to see light and start seeking, and if you don't see light, then you start wondering, what happened? My meditation is not going properly. See, don't worry about that. If that happens, it happens. If it comes, also don't worry, let it pass. Our focus is not to get carried away by any light or any siddhi or anything else. Our focus is to know the truth. But the point is, when we say the third eye is there in everybody, it is dormant. That through the steady contemplation, we awaken to the true light within, and that true light is the light of consciousness. Again, I'm using the word light. Don't think it is some bulb, it is some kind of a physical light. But all I'm saying is there is an external light, then there's internal light, then there's the light of knowledge, through which I recognize, I am that Sachidananda Swarup Atma, because of which there is thought, because of which there is experience, because of which there is physical transaction. So I am not the physical light, I am not the objects, I am not this physical body, nor the light inside this body, the prana, the mind. I am that light of consciousness. That is intuitively realized. And so this is the third eye, and generally it is closed, meaning generally we don't access this deeper level of awareness. Our senses are extroverted. So we are only in two states. When the eyes are closed, we are asleep. When the eyes are open, we are extrovert. But while being in that waking state, when we remain alert and calm and quiet, neither fallen asleep nor lost in the world outside, that balance is the third eye. And that will happen when this upasana is done. So we are training the mind to be subtle, to be pure, to be single-pointed. And remembering Bhagwan Shiva is the Supreme Lord. He is a Adi Guru and he is also the presiding deity of meditation. In the Shiva Shadakshara Stotram it comes Mahadevam Mahatmanam Mahadhyana Parayanam Mahapapaharam Devam Makaraya Namo Namaha. So Mahadhyana Parayanam, one who is engaged in supreme contemplation. Bhagwan is Atma only, he is a pure consciousness, Satchidananda Swarup, Satyam Shivam Sundaram he is. But for us, even the way to do that, to reach that, Bhagwan demonstrates that when he is sitting quietly, absorbed in the self, that stillness of the body, of the mind, and to not have any attachment to the jiva, not to have attachment to the body, to anything around, Bhagwan demonstrates that. So Trilochanam means that one who has awakened the third eye, who has three eyes. All of us have three eyes. The eye of knowledge is there in all of us, but it is dormant. Bhagwan is the one who has awakened it. Trilochanam. Gurudev gives a very nice insight into it, saying that Trilochanam means the eye where somebody knows something subtle. I'll just share that video of Gurudev. Then
Trilochanam, who has got the three eyes, is a symbol. What are the stars standing in your flag? Does it mean, and supposing an Indian sees it, and he doesn't know, in India, he has never educated himself, he says, what is this? This flag is full of stars. Are they all stargazers? Hey, he misunderstands. What can you do? What are the stars standing for? Are they not for the state? You who know what that stands for, you are encouraged to feel the pride of the nation or the joy of the nation because you know the symbol, what it stands for. Thus the Lord has got three eyes. Immediately everybody says, biologically this is not possible. But the Lord that we are talking is not a product that came from the local hospital, maternity ward. See, three eyes doesn't mean that he has got another eye. Every one of us has got a third eye, isn't it? Two eyes, the fleshy eyes. Everybody sees the same world. Then, you according to your understanding, you understand, is it not? A lawyer sees the papers that you present him. He sees, don't worry about it, it's all possible. Why? He has got a third eye. And he quietly takes you by the hand and goes through law into safety. And that is called a very successful criminal lawyer. He knows about it. A jeweler. To you and I, anything bright is diamond. He knows the right back. So among a sack full of artificial diamonds, if there is one blue one that is there, which is really costly, the fellow picks it up and says, you can take the rest free. I will take only this. Because that is $30,000 dollars, while all of them put together is $3.50. Artificially made. But to you and I, everything that is flashy is diamond. Must have an eye to know it, isn't it? An engineer comes and says, I'm very sorry, it's not going to stand long. What do you mean it's done long? I made it. I don't think that the beam can stand it, that load. How? By his experience, by his knowledge. Every one of us got it. The Lord is one who sees what you and I see, but He also sees the great reality. Trilochanam.
So that was Gurudev, where he says such a deeper, how one has a deeper insight. So Trilochanam. Now, when one meditates, one chants Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum. So one visualizes the form of Bhagwan with Mother Uma, who is the Lord, who is the Supreme. Parameshwaram Prabhum, Trilochanam, who has three eyes. So one will invoke the form with the three eyes, Trilochanam. In his commentary, Gurudev has said about Trilochanam, where he says this, that um, the eye of intuition, the vision of pure knowledge. It is described in Shiva Puran that in his ecstasy of joy, dancing in his meditation seat, when he opens his third eye, the entire world of names and forms around him gets burnt out. This is one of the incomparable mystic pictures that signify the mighty one who, on waking up to the God consciousness, transcends the limited vision of the world of names and forms and comes to live the universal oneness. Now, please remember, this is Gurudev's language of expressing this so beautifully. When he says that dancing in his meditation seat, doesn't mean that some Shivji is sitting and dancing in meditation seat. Meaning there's a feeling of ecstasy. When one drops all false identification, the feeling of ecstasy, that is what he's referring to here. Otherwise, separately he does Ananda Tandav when he gets up, when he feels there's some occasion, or there's a specific occasion where out of anger also he may open the third eye to destroy some particular asura. So those instances are there. Here for a seeker it means what? The eye of intuition, the vision of pure knowledge, and that fire of self-knowledge will destroy our avidya. So Trilochanam. So one prays that Bhagwan may help me to open the third eye. May I have a combination of head and heart, intellect and mind, sun and the moon, so that this third eye, the fire of knowledge, that will be awakened, it will be opened. So Trilochanam, Neelakantham. Bhagwan has a blue neck. So why blue neck? Because of the Samudra Manthan. In the Samudra Manthan, Amrit is wanted by Devatas and Asuras, both. And Vishnu Bhagwan has suggested to them, so they have to carry this Mandar mountain, put it in the Milky Ocean. But they can't lift the Mandar mountain. So Bhagwan helps by sending Garudji. So now Garudji lifts the Mandar mountain, puts it in the Milky Ocean. Now they have to churn. How to churn this Milky Ocean? They need a serpent. Now just imagine who can be that serpent, because it will be pulled from both sides. Try if you do that. Pulling from both hands. One group is pulling you from this side, one group is pulling you from this side. Both are equally pulling you hard. Terrific, no? It will be. So much pain. Somebody has to agree to coil around this mountain and they will pull and push. So this mountain will move and then the churning happens. So who is that person, who is that jiva who will agree to do this? It is extremely painful. And they will not benefit out of it. These asuras and devatas, they want this Amrit. So again they ask Shivji, please help. Vasuki is on the neck of Shivji. Vasuki Kantha Bhushanam. Vame Shaktidharam Devam Vakaraya Namo Namaha. One whose Kantha Bhushan is Vasuki. So Bhagwan sends Vasuki. If Shivji has not sent Vasuki, the Samudra Manthan would not happen. Vasuki agrees because Bhagwan said it. That is his bhav also. He doesn't say, why should I get myself stretched? What will I get out of it? How much will I benefit? What is the use of me doing this? If the world has to get Amrit, then selflessness has to be there. Garuji didn't say, why should I lift the mountain and put it in the ocean? Immortality is founded on the ideals of selflessness. If selflessness is not there, immortality cannot be experienced. Full stop. Finished it is. Because selfishness is the way in which I am living as of now also. Identified with this body, living only for I, me and mine. That mindset only one has to break. So Samudra Manthan happens like that. So Shivji sends Vasuki. Now his Kantha Bhushan it is. Imagine our gold ornament if we have, gold necklace if we have, and for the sake of the world when we need to give, how many people will go ahead and, my. And if that is going to get spoilt and come back, then will you give? Imagine Vasuki has to be given, and Vasuki is not ordinary snake. He is the king of snakes. He is the Bhushan on the neck of Bhagwan Shiva. Now he is going to be pulled and pushed and stretched. He may not even survive. If he survives, what will be his condition? Think. Bhagwan doesn't bother ki my ornament, etc. It will get spoiled. Nothing. Send Vasuki. He also agrees. And he goes, ties himself around this mountain, and they are pulling. Both sides they are pulling. As soon as they start pulling, pushing, mountain again drowns in the ocean. Why? Because there is no support to hold it steadily. So Bhagwan has to take an avatar, Kurma avatar, and come down, and he is supporting on his back. So Vishnu Bhagwan sent Garuda also. Vishnu Bhagwan only gave the idea also. Vishnu Bhagwan came down and he was supporting. The whole churning is happening. The mountain is moving on his back. Meaning, sense control if it is not there. Tortoise is a symbol of sense control. We should know when to engage, when to withdraw. As a seeker, very important it is. That example comes in the Gita. Sthita Prajna's Lakshana it is. A wise man's characteristic is this. For a seeker, the withdrawal happens out of caution, that we don't want to take in anything which will make our mind impure. The Siddha Purusha, the realized person, does it effortlessly because it has become already a habit. As a seeker, that person has learned to engage, withdraw, engage, withdraw. Anything unconducive, withdraw the attention. Anything conducive, fine, move ahead, engage. Conducive to what? To my sadhana. Right now we are doing engaging and withdrawing, conducive to our vasana. If our food vasana arises, we go and engage in whatever we want to eat. Whether it is good or bad for my sadhana doesn't matter. Eat, drink, listen to some music, dance, go out, do this, do that. One is engaging and one is withdrawing also. From Swamiji, we have withdrawn from japa, we have withdrawn from satsang. As of now, we don't have time for all this. So we are engaging as per our vasana. Seeker doesn't engage as per vasana. Seeker engages as per what is dharma and withdraws as per dharma. If we follow the dictates of our own mind, we are victim of our vasana. We may say, I am a free bird, but that is all deluding oneself. One who is able to live as per dharma, engage as per dharma, and withdraw as per dharma. Not as per what the world thinks. If we know alcohol is not good for us, withdraw. Smoking not good for us, withdraw. Non-vegetarian not good for us, withdraw. Tobacco not good for us, withdraw. Gossiping not good for us, withdraw. People may do anything in the world. It's such a pathetic situation today that to live a healthy life is not cool. And to be unhealthy is very cool. How strange and sad is that? If you sleep by 9:30, 10, you are not cool. If you don't drink alcohol, you are a killjoy. If you don't smoke, you are wasting your life. Arey? If you eat salad and healthy food, oh, you are eating ghas foos. When did being healthy is not cool? But that's how society has projected it today. If you are a sincere student studying when you go to school and college, then you are a nerd. So all that which is healthy, good, beneficial to us, which we are supposed to do, has become uncool. And all the destructive ways of living have become cool. That is stupidity. Avivek, that is called. A seeker doesn't do like that. Seeker lives in vivek, discrimination, proper clarity that what is good, I will follow that. What is not good, why should I follow? However cool it may be, whatever the society may think. So Bhagwan sent that tortoise. Bhagwan became the tortoise and he came. And on that foundation, this churning is happening. Amrit cannot happen unless there is sense control, proper sense control. That's why Samat Ramdas said, if there is a guru who is not telling you to live in self-control, run away from that guru. He is not worth one paisa also. In Das Bodh it comes, in the Guru Purnima Satsang we were discussing that. If you get 3 such gurus also for one paisa, don't have that guru. Meaning self-control is the most important foundation for spiritual life. And self-control doesn't mean suppressing the senses. It means engagement of the senses in what is appropriate for sadhana and withdrawing from it when it is not appropriate. When we engage in the world, we have to engage because full time we can't be in meditation. Vyavahar will happen, work will happen, some roles will have duties, some goals also will be there in it. One will have to deal with money, one will have to deal with people, with all kinds of situations in the world will come. Seeker is not an escapist who runs away from that, but knows this is conducive, I will engage, this is not conducive, I will withdraw. And if that means I have to be, people feel scared. Oh, if I withdraw, then I will become lonely. Nothing will happen, don't worry. Gurudev would say that when you are drinking alcohol, those people who drink alcohol, they will be around you. Suppose you drop them, they will. Suppose you drop drinking alcohol, they may leave you and go. May, not necessarily they will, but they may leave you and go. But you come to satsang, you will form a new set of friends. As one changes, the company around oneself also will change. So one doesn't have to worry. And it's always, if you look at any of the successful people, you listen to any of them, Warren Buffett or Steve Jobs or any great sportsman, any, achiever in any of the international level programs, they will always say, keep the company of the people who inspire you, who motivate you, in whose company you will grow, who push you to go beyond your comfort zones, and who ensure that the conversations, etc., are inspiring because they themselves have that feeling that I want to achieve something. Don't be around people who are either lazy, lethargic, don't help, don't push you. And if you are pushing yourself, they pull you down, saying, don't work so hard, take it easy, chill, relax in life. One must have the right company of people. And so, this sense control, very, very important. And if you look at Lord Shiva, he is an embodiment of sense control. You know how he got 5 faces? A very interesting story. Tilottama came. She has great pride, that she has broken the penance of many rishis, and even Indra is, he sends Tilottama. Indra wants to break Bhagwan Shiva's dhyan. One of the reasons is Tarakasur has to be killed, and so he has to be killed only by the son of Bhagwan Shiva. And that time Sati has dropped her body. Mother Parvati is not yet born. Shivji is in deep meditation, and Indra is worried that what will happen? How will the son of Shiva be born? All that, So he has sent Tilottama. And the Tilottama comes and she is doing a very vulgar dance in front of Bhagwan Shiva. And Bhagwan is meditating. He opens his eyes and he sees Tilottama has come. And Tilottama is moving around Bhagwan now. So as she is moving, Bhagwan doesn't even shake his face, meaning his mind doesn't even get disturbed. His face is steady, his eyes are steady. If Tilottama is here, if she is moving here, Bhagwan is not seeing her like that there. She moves, she comes here, one more face of Bhagwan comes here, then one more, then one more, then one more. Full circle she goes around, 4 faces and one above. 5 faces of Bhagwan Shiva, but the mind is not at all disturbed. Tilottama falls at the feet of Bhagwan, asks his forgiveness. I am sorry, I came to disturb, but I was sent by Indra. That is Bhagwan Shiva. Kamdev also cannot do anything. That level of sense control Bhagwan has. Carnal pleasure is that in which all the 10 senses will get engaged. In that, who has mastery over all the other senses. So Bhagwan is that. Trilochanam Neelakantham. So why I am saying so much? Because Neelakantham, this word symbolizes compassion, blue neck. But that compassion comes because of all these: selflessness, sense control, you know. And so Vasuki now is tied himself around, and this Devtas and Asuras, they are pulling. In a few moments, what happens? Vasuki spits out lot of poison. Halahal vish. Kalakut people call halahal, it is called. Now that vish, poison, the very fumes of that are enough. Now you don't have to even consume it. The fumes of that poison are enough, and people started dying, drowsing. I mean, they felt drowsy, they fell unconscious, all that. Devatas, Asuras. And they run to Bhagwan Shiva saying, please help, please help. Nobody else is there to save us. In this process of churning of the ocean, this is the first thing that has happened. Poison has come out. Now, Bhagwan Shiva immediately, he doesn't waste time. He goes there, takes that entire poison because it is got mixed in the ocean. That the whole ocean, it will spread and spoil everything. Then Amrit cannot come. Immediately he gathers it all, consumes it. It is said Mother Parvati holds his neck so that the poison doesn't go down. It doesn't go up to the head. It is held in the neck. There are a few things which we should not take up to the head. We should not allow it to poison our heart. Success and achievement and praise, all that should not go into our head. Otherwise, one will become very arrogant. Criticism, disappointments, hurt, somebody said something, don't let it sink into the heart and poison the heart. Keep it here. It will become an ornament. Blue color, the neck turned into blue color. Neelakantham. So keep it here meaning Bhagwan did not allow it to spoil his heart, did not spit it out, did not allow it to go in his head, but kept it here out of compassion. People will say whatever they want to say. Somebody criticizes us, somebody praises us, neither up nor down, in the middle. Equanimity, balance, and taking the poison there. See, praise, etc., is one aspect. Bhagwan is called Neelakantha because of that difficult work that he did, but he doesn't allow that to get into the head. And that poison which is omitted, which is spit out. So, what is that poison? That poison is raga and dvesha and ignorance. You will see the symbolism Gurudev gives so beautifully. We will come to this. So, that poison, Bhagwan just holds it here. He doesn't allow his heart to be affected by any amount of attachments, aversions, nothing. It is actually the poison which has come out of Vasuki. See, this is the job of the Guru. The disciple has raga, dvesha, avidya, many things, and the disciple will spit it out. As though the Guru consumes it, takes it away from the disciple, frees the disciple. And the Guru doesn't become poisonous himself also. There will be, in the process of sadhana, when we do, the impurities will come out. One throws it away. Here it is Bhagwan himself who is there. It doesn't affect the Lord, and he keeps it right here. So the means he doesn't digest it, he doesn't spoil his heart, nor it goes to his head. He just holds it delicately. It becomes the ornament. Meaning, take the feedback of people, criticism also of people may come, etc. Whatever comes, hold it in such a delicate way. If you can learn something out of it, learn. Don't allow it to poison. That is one way. Rag and dvesha, when it happens, excessive attachment is there and aversion is there, so it will spoil the head and the heart. Be in the neutral state. That is the middle part. No attachment to anybody, no aversion from anybody. That state of mind is a healthy state of mind. Then the meditation will be steady. If we have any attachment or aversion, the mind will only go to those objects of attachment and aversion again and again. So we have to pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. But if it is held that I live in balance, I don't have no love at all and complete attachment, that, head very dry, heart full of attachment. No, blend. Let there be love and detachment together. That is the middle part. That's the neck. That's the ornament. That becomes the blue color that adorns Bhagwan's neck is that. So here, if you see this, then of course that story goes ahead that after that very interesting is that story, after that, so Bhagwan takes the poison and it doesn't affect him. He is Mrityunjaya. He can't die because of the poison. The fumes of that poison can kill people, but he can take the whole poison, nothing will happen to him. And those who say that Shivji smokes weed, why can't I smoke weed? First of all, there is no proof of Shivji smoking weed. That some artist, somebody has done and then they have done it. Show me one proof of a scripture where it is said Shivji smokes weed. There is no place it is mentioned. And bhang, he drinks bhang. What bhang he drinks? Where is it? And people are drinking in the name of Shivji, putting bhang and in holy, doing anything, drinking bhang and misbehaving and all that. And unfortunately, the people who are making murtis, etc., they also add as though it is one necessity. Like, we have Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma for Bhagwan Vishnu. They add one chillam for Lord Shiva. No Shastra Praman is there for it. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, there is a Shastra Praman. Bhagavatam mentions for Bhagwan Vishnu. Trishul, Nandi, Damaru, there is a Shastra Praman. Third eye, snake for Lord Shiva. There is no Shastra Praman for Chillam. But people have been doing. Recently, we inaugurated in Chinmay Prakash our new center here. So Shiv Parivar is there. And when we went to see the murtis, every single murti that I saw of Shiv Parivar has the chillam on the side. I said, I don't want this chillam. You convert that into a snake, but I will not take this chillam. So I said, what is this? See, ये तो chillam है, भगवान का chillam है. I said, what Bhagwan ka chillam hai? Bhagwan doesn't drink any of this. He doesn't do hookah and all that. And why does he need chillam? For what? So we changed it. So there's a snake there in place of that. My point is that when this halal poison came out, Bhagwan consumed that poison. So if you say that Lord Shiva is the one who drinks weed, which he doesn't, but if suppose somebody says that Bhagwan drinks weed, why can't I drink weed? Then you drink halal poison and survive. After that you do weed if you want. You sit and meditate for days together, dropping body identification. Then you do weed if you want. Simply selectively taking something which Bhagwan is not even doing, ascribing it to the Lord and then following it because you have a weakness, that is pathetic. And so, Neelakantham is compassion, that when poison came out, everybody ran to Bhagwan and Bhagwan didn't ask one question. He said, why should I save you? Nothing. He took the poison immediately. Compassion for others, that they should not suffer. I have the ability to withhold it. I will not get affected by it. But if that is left outside, they will suffer. So take it. After that, again Samudra Manthan resumed. Many siddhis came out. Many, unique and powerful things. Kamadhenu, Chintamani, Airavat. Alcohol also came from there. And Asuras took it. I'm not going to full detail of the prasang. You can read in Bhagavatam. Beautifully it is mentioned there. But the point is, when all the siddhis, Lakshmi Devi also came, Airavat, Uchchaishravas, so many Kamadhenu, Chintamani, Kalpavriksha, lot of these things came. And Devatas, Asuras, they divided among themselves, Siddhas, different people took different things. Not one thing was given to Bhagwan Shiva. Only poison he took. Even when Amrit came out, not one drop was given to Bhagwan Shiva. Bhagwan did not say that. That is the mindset of the world. We should always remember that is compassion. Compassion is one does it because one's nature is love and compassion. To see the people suffering, to see the beings suffering, if one doesn't, one doesn't feel that, why are they suffering? Then there is some selfishness. When one sees people suffering, beings are suffering, one goes out, serves, helps. Doesn't bother what one will get. Whatever one has, with that one will serve to the best of one's capabilities, not wanting nothing in return. And if people don't even come back and thank, this person doesn't say, what is the use of me being so compassionate and kind? My compassion was taken for granted, and they did not even come and thank me. They went and thanked that person who did less, but I did more, but they didn't thank me. Then I didn't do it out of true compassion. I did it with some compassion, but I had more recognition for, need for recognition, praise, appreciation. Shivji, they did not give even one drop of nectar back to him. They did not go back and offer any Guru Dakshina, or they did not go and offer any of these things, special things that came out of the Samudra Manthan. They drank their nectar, they became very happy. Chalo, we have become immortal. Forgot Bhagwan Shiva. World may be like that. That doesn't stop Shivji from being compassionate. See, these are such fantastic qualities. The more we think about Shivji, the more these qualities come into us, the more our sadhana will get intensified. That we live out of joy, out of selflessness, out of compassion, because there's detachment, there's nothing to lose, there's nothing to gain also. What will the world add? And what will the world take away from me? Some material possession, something, some praise, some criticism they will do. Beyond that, what will happen? Anyway, for a Vedantic student, that is all mithya, is illusory. Aham Brahmasmi, I am that infinite Brahman, one who revels in that state. Or I am a devotee of Bhagwan Shiva. Bhagwan Shiva is my Aradhya Devata. I want only the grace of Bhagwan, nothing else. And how will I invoke the grace? Live selflessly, live in compassion, live in sense control, live in equanimity. That is a joy. No attachments to anybody, yet loving and compassionate to everybody. See that beauty there. People think love and compassion, detachment means becoming disinterested, not bothered. The one who has maximum detachment is the one who has maximum compassion. Shivji is completely detached, fully compassionate. That is spirituality. Engaged fully into things, yet completely unattached. That is Krishna. That is spirituality. And when one has withdrawn also, one is withdrawn completely, that there is no attachment to anything, the mind doesn't get extroverted. That is spirituality. Shivji sitting in dhyan, nobody can disturb him. Kamdev can do nothing to him. He just opens his eye. Tilottama, to his eyes were, he opened the eyes and he saw, and then he wanted to teach a lesson, so 5 faces came. Kamdev, he didn't even bother to open his eyes. He did whatever he did, shot arrows and all that he did, and then Bhagwan opened the eyes, burnt him straight. That is spirituality. So, if you listen to Gurudev, there's one bhajan on Gurudev. Jaya Gurudevam Chinmayanandam Pranamamyaham Gurudevam Aharnisham. In that, one beautiful line comes, Prema Hridainam Paramaviraginam. Prema Hridainam Paramaviraginam. Sanyasinam Gurum Shirasanamamyaham. To that great sannyasi I prostrate, whose heart is full of love and compassion. 42 years Gurudev served tirelessly. Last 10, 15 years with only 16% of the heart. Why did he serve? Did he want recognition, name, fame? Did he feel that no, Chinmay Mission must be this many centers under my leadership, I will make such? Nothing. Prema Hridayanam, just out of compassion for people. He could have stayed quietly in the mountains, not bothered to come down. Came down, went through the grind for 42 years, working almost 18 to 19 hours a day, setting up this huge institution, all for service of mankind, wanting nothing for himself. That love and compassion can come only when there is deep detachment. Parama Viraginam. That is Bhagwan Shiva. And that's why Nilakantha has so much of importance. That spiritual seeker doesn't have these questions. What will I get out of it? I was not included. I was not praised. Are for praise and recognition, why are we doing work in spiritual organization? We do out of genuine selflessness. If this one quality comes into us of doing selflessly whatever my service is for the benefit of the world, for that if I have to go through some little pain, I will go through. Doesn't matter. But producing more than what we consume, giving more than what we take, what we say in Chinmaya Mission Pledge, that is the way to live. And spiritual seeker doesn't have this insecurity that if I live like that, people will take me for granted. Nobody can take us for granted. When we have this selflessness, we have sattva guna, we are smart, we will be cautious. It doesn't mean selfless person is a dumb person. Tamasic person is dumb person who can be taken for granted. Can anybody take Shivji for granted? Can anybody take Krishna Bhagwan for granted? Not possible. One should know when to be strict, disciplined, when to be hard on some things, when to be kind, compassionate. That's the balance. But the foundation for it all is selflessness, compassion. A mother may be angry on a child for the good of the child, but the basis is love, compassion. So nobody can take one for granted. There are all that insecurity for which we hold on and we think that no, selfishness is justified, anger is justified, forgiveness should not be there, I will never forgive. Right now I'm talking from a spiritual seeker standpoint. Bhagwan Shiva is most kind and compassionate, and yet most alert also. So when we work with selflessness for the benefit of the society, giving our best. For that, we have to extend. We have work, we have family, we have social commitments. In spite of that, we will still take out time, come, serve, do it with commitment. Why? Because that is the sadhana. How much we take from the whole world, how much are we giving back? Our culture always says, every moment it is happening. It's not that after retirement I can only do. I can do now also, and I should do now also. So, Trilochanam, Neelakantham, Prashantam, who is very serene and calm. You know, this Samudra Manthan episode, I'm just going to read this commentary and then we will conclude for today. Beautifully, Gurudev has explained this whole symbolism in one paragraph. Subjectively, in each of us, when the churning is done in our purified sattvic mind, that is the Milky Ocean. With the intellect, Mandara, that's the mountain, that supports the mind, and the rope of the ego, serpent king Vasuki, by the lower asuras and the higher devas in us, meditation starts. So this whole prakriya is of meditation. Samudra Manthan is of meditation. See that analogy. It appears a very, dynamic, action oriented, movement oriented act, but actually it is happening inside. It has happened outside also, but more it is inside. That's what is the symbolism here. Meditation starts. In the early stages of this meditation, churning, many tempting profits emerge out, but if the churning is continued, a time would come when just before the experience of immortality, Amrita, the ego, Vasuki, must vomit out its entire subconscious and unconscious vasana poison. See that. This great poison of ignorance cannot be totally eliminated until wisdom dawns, jnanam dawns. This ignorance can only be held in the neck, indicating a point away from and between the head and the heart. Ego and egocentric desires should not be allowed to poison either the head or the heart of the meditator at this moment. And naturally, when the churning continues, the supreme experience is unfolded and the goal is gained. Beautiful commentary. So that is Neelakantha. Trilochanam, Neelakantham. Prashantam. So more of this we will continue and complete in our next class, and then we will meditate on the form. Any questions for today? Yes, Neetaji.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Yeah.
You have explained that Vasuki is selflessness, and he offered himself to do the churning, right? And
Yeah.
here's the paragraph what you read right now. It says that the rope of ego. So how the selflessness and ego can be together?
So we have to understand in symbolism, different aspects of symbolism are there. It is, as we say, the intent of Vasuki is to offer himself. Now, when Bhagwan said go for the churning, he has gone because there is selflessness.
Okay.
But he is a serpent, so there is poison in the serpent.
So that's a quality of serpent, but then he obeys the Bhagwan and does the selfless job.
Correct. So that is why his poison is thrown out.
Yeah, right.
So the ego, we listen to some satsang, some Mahatma or some study of scripture, etc. We do, then we want to meditate. Now, when we meditate, there will be the selfishness and the raga, dvesha, this avidya, this vasanas, all that will come out.
Right.
That is what we offer to Shivji when we a lot of disturbance. Mute. So when we meditate, there will be some past memory, some hurt, some regret, some future desire, some temptation to enjoy something. All that will be there. That's a poison. That will come. Offer that to Bhagwan, saying, Bhagwan, you please take this away. Then we become free. That is what it is. That we should remember, that it is a depiction for the spiritual seeker. Because when we churn the mind, there will be impurities which will come. What is in the depth of the ocean is going to come. Na? And in the churning of the mind, there the milky ocean is there. Our mind is not like such a sattvic mind alone. Our mind is rajoguna, tamoguna, everything mixed. So these tendencies will come, lust will come, anger will come, greed will come, jealousy will come. They will all come to the surface because they have been there in the mind. So when they come, we may feel, Arey, I was better off before meditation, Swamiji. Now, when I am doing meditation, now all this is coming. I feel I am a much terrible person. Before meditation, I was thinking I am a good person. Now I feel I am a more lusty and lower type of a person. That is what the mistake we are making. Those tendencies, they will come, let them just go. Offer it to Bhagwan, saying, Bhagwan is offered at your feet. I should not judge myself, I should not condemn myself, I should not feel low, and I should not drop my meditation, I should not drop my sadhana. Same way when siddhis come, some specific powers may come, certain capabilities will come, don't bother. Let other people take it. Meaning, give it back, give it away to the Lord. Don't fall for that. Then the Amrit will happen. That's the deeper meaning.
Thank you, Swamiji Pranam. It's so enlightening that clarity has come because of this. Otherwise, we think that as a ego, Vasuki is there, then but it is so much right that doing sadhana for so many years at one period of time in life, the so much of all these impurities have come out, and then your mind becomes quiet and ready for the meditation. Thank you very much, Pranam.
That's why the word Prashantam comes after Nilakantam. If Nilakanta has happened, mind will be Prashant. Offer it all to Bhagwan. Compassionately, Bhagwan will take it away. No problem at all. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.